na fi wawura CAF Confederation Cup match and so a course so Algeria. RS Bekani and Simba Bekani it's a 2-0. Okay, Awal.
Sergio.
Why for me who's the means that's the kind of makers I don't know. All right. Into us Awal Mohammed. Now Otashe and I win first time.
Oh, na metashe.
No Tashe. Okay, but Oba Hawajai. Mr. That's Atashe. Okay,
So Sergio, first leg of the final in the CAF Confederations Cup no Ebaso Saturday no etwemu ewo RS Bekani in the city of Bekan in Morocco, and it was between the I think say omo football no a resurgent pa Sergio. Oh here under 17 AFCON ye course so last month they managed to qualify to the World Cup in as much as someone Timianji. The under 20 or so they've managed to qualify to the World Cup. They went on to win the competition, and it has been so very good for them because we a revenge, because the last time they went into the final of under 20 championship, that was 1997. It was the same opponent Morocco and Morocco show, and at this time around Gomo Kikana Gono Etimiaye the only goal are separating those two sides. And how South Africa ball competition in group okay no money Egypt mono group and Tanzania mo they managed to go out of the group, and from the quarter-final to the semi-final they were able to do a wonderful job beating Nigeria in the semi-final, and of course eventually they went on to win the competition. It's very good for them, especially said you how said your more investing in football no going forward. I think say our national team a very strong power, because you see some of these guys can easily travel abroad and bet me abomo in as much as my league ni you know say you who South Africa for Europe unlike back in the days ni momo. Yes, omu league no very competitive eboamo e momo national team ni nya cohesion, because say kobo AFCON tournament na unya club be 10 players na starting lineup around 8 ekanwa a Buama cohesion koso, and I think say it's very good for the Rainbow Nation South Africa by winning the AFCON under 20 title no, and I think say it's been very good for the nation South Africa. Nigeria so we need a bronze medal no by beating Egypt during the post-match penalties, you know. So we said that is how the under 20 AFCON championship ended over the weekend. Egypt. So South Africa are the new under 20 championship. After say Senegal winning last time around, this time around it's been South Africa. Okay.
All right. Mayanya athletics kakra.
Yeah. Fever feeling.
Yeah. No when video no me anhwe. What happened?
Atlanta Adidas Athletics Championship no. So you 150 meters a course run was set a record. The only athlete to go less than 16 seconds. Initially, Sean Miller Uibu kita that record no in 2016, and said, "Yo, this was how Fever Ofili made that run."
Okay.
A world record 16:30 to defeat her, so she's trying to improve on her second place performance from last year.
So those two will be joined by Kennedy Blackman, Shante Moore, and Kennedy Simon. For those who maybe are interested in following track, after following track in Paris in the Olympic year, the World Championships this year back in the Olympic Stadium in Tokyo in September, this time with fans.
Yeah, I'm glad to go back and have a full stadium like we did in Budapest for Worlds in 2023 and Paris last year for the Olympics.
So another non-traditional distance on the regular oval, 150 meters for the women.
Remember, it took a world record to win this event last year. Ofili now in the lead.
Ofili and Davis running out of track here in Atlanta, and Faber Ofili striding her way to the line, and that right on the wind level, and now confirmed at 15:85. That
was set to go beyond what Sean Miller Ibu in 2016. It's a new record. Oba aye in the world of athletics 150 meters championship no. We one of the ladies are also challenging Toby Amusan in terms of Nigeria or women athletics now, especially on track event I will say yeah, 100, 110, 150 meters. No, this lady is also doing massively well. Say you.
All right. I feel younger West Ham kakra.
Yeah.
Of your league actually now, I'm a toss of 15th with 40 points. So this season,
last season they ended up 9th.
Yeah. But this season 15th. 40 points. You name last game, no, they were good. See, Jamaica get Kessben. I'm say, in Ghana for there.
Yeah, or say Oblemu deep in form of Kudus, no, on the poor season of West Ham.
Okay.
Or say Kudus and show up.
Yes.
This season, unlike how we saw him last season. A Jumason obey out to me bois West Ham under David Moyes last season. This season, yan shed them and hunusa. And that's the reason why he saw it say a few way West Ham almost season and Kuye. And I say Kudus about top level football, and he should be playing in a team sir or more closer to the title, not below level teams. And Ohun say Kudus poor show no Seju and no now effective with West Ham Seju. I completely agree with him. Last season, Usha na Lucas Paqueta and so the season so Ekosropa. Jared Bowen, Munina, Sejo, all those guys were performing wonderfully last season and creditably for West Ham. This season, West Ham season, and Shedan Kuye, how they started. David Moyes, Ofrio, even coaching the situation nearby. Almost said, Jonathan Lopetegui before Jumanu, Afene Kuye, na Graham Porter, the only good thing is that among mobile relegation. So they look forward to seeing how said you're meeting me team mukina. Now could you see now said you other teams will be basse free way. Because Atletico Madrid above Betuja said Diogo Simeone Cholo making a chase for him. Recently Betuja said Arsenal and of course some interest from Saudi Arabia, especially from Al Nassr. I know so Boba. So West Ham fans in Ebi Huni say Ebinu Munya accountana, but Ebinu Senka say Sikano etimi bana a doswan said you common cashi no mama Mohammed Kudus uncle. No team.
European Commission it's in beyond the CAF. What's going on? It's a partnership
and almost signing a partnership.
Okay.
A mobile base yedi competition for AFCON Yebebasui December few and of course 2027 alongside the Women's CAF Champions League Omobono yearly no. But the European Commission say near Dominicra the African schools competition now. Because and also one thing the honesty a lot of talent because it's mainly under 15 competition, especially for boys and girls. And it's me boy my who be a talent be a baby. And I think that this is one of the reasons I'm going to say a budget to form a partnership alongside confederations of African football. I said, you say we in a tendencies of neo-colonialism.
I didn't see.
Because I'm say better than I will say AU, any ABA UEFA, for more partnership like this. More yemwa na omodio mu eba bijim hweye ko ebia CAF beto mo aba obi Gianni Infantino aba na Alexander Cyfren aba na ode na omodio mu fole mo sa nti mu ye mu bibia na omodio mu agim.
Yes, in a way no mba be control woni bia
politics bibia from economics and
all this. That's
it.
Yes,
this is where the school of thought so people in tendencies of neo-colonialism.
Did you know
I'm part with or more share that school of thought.
Say who say the European Commission BBC Anna after our partnership in future. So
say be share benefit the beba. Benefit idea the beba. But say you na brofo say ye bibia mo de mo fole.
Okay.
And nina one of the things I may share that school of thought say we na one of the tendencies of neo-colonialism.
Wow. Okay, yanko wie ewo Ghana from rantie ewo miamia hodo goals na fifi say as obrofo no ya doso dodo as first not to catch pa but I say that's all the obrofo
century ne dey make up
me say o kan but o say o dey say san ba say ya doso achen And this I mean who is
se brofo no ba na chese bia me ni alternative for tree.
Okay. All right. Ebi e hona no hu twi where da the barber show. Fi what in pacho nti we nya simbia e say wo di tram akumo na we can sem e dey fa.
Me ba no wa chere me French no.
I French no ti no dey go. Why you ho asua French sa out me e can fluently. O cat say dey o ka say chese o ka bro for crowd. Na o di tram akumo. I'm going to French. I want to transfer all these years. I'm going to be
apart from I'm going to be in French.
Me sure.
Maybe I bet me about say about who now.
Maybe.
Maybe I bet me about say
me sure. And there is school there fine. And I'm Makum.
There was no only polytechnic.
Okay. Polytechnic. I want to Makum. Poly ho na nyam abakum. Okay.
I was on the uzu. Now we didn't go.
Dem was all yes sir.
Who ko JHS wa.
Enye fantin da.
Oh be wusam. Oh na o go. Na o be wusam.
Say you sempa.
Di ho ya makum. Inya ho ya makum di angenye ni patu amakum amuka French.
You know na 50 French how na.
How many so the ti ho no?
Na on vanede.
I don't want to bibia apart from say what the team na mamakum.
E be a school of languages for.
Na o kwa yase ya na o chiche pitu ni ensafu.
You be no can do the bro.
No. And the o jaisi si.
And
o che.
Now you
no yeah but this is artisan.
Tina want to ya be kase jo yete.
Artisan.
Ya be kase jo yete.
But ye bia be ko bia o ho bia baby e chensafu ni ho no tina.
Jo ye de.
Otite.
What the name jo okra bi nyina ni bia.
No.
That's the we ka wo do.
The fee per the bi ni zelfoni.
No, original ni bi.
French e wa kwantri wo de tell ko na be ya pa o. Ba wo de
of language so om consider.
Consider why. Omo nya bibi ti obi e here obi o ka French fluently. O ka bro fluently.
We dey oni so consulate ni betimi aye juma. E bia ye
kokoma Mr. Monwe fi hu ma me na French na say keke. O ni trim. Yeah. First no clubs no more French in the bar. On na be use no pa o studio.
Enti you know pioneer be boss ya class. Omo ko Africa na omo nye consistent fi be nya dwuma.
Yeah. Tizo mu tu kwan ya dia.
Ah, now so betimi afa no.
Yeah.
E bi akotoko French speaking country na omo afa na nko kan ho.
Yeah.
Na at least okwa wa IBB ade amo.
French. Yes,
Nti ye bomb pa si team si omo kwate ya qualify enko. Na di no omo beto aso.
All right. Fi ya chawo baby a wo bia na anope. Our trust no even go goals.
So very good performance from Ibrahim Suleimana. So you watch the opportunity a wenya no or making a county because last weekend when they played against AS Roma for Atalanta, he scored the goal. Ema Atalanta nya the Champions League spot. No, this weekend again he had his name on the score sheet, and this was the goal he scored against Genoa. And Sanswa, he ended up as the MVP, the man of the match. Ibrahim Suleimana on your shot, the boy from Sunyani, or not, or he was on target over the weekend for the club Atalanta. So in Spain, Jerry Frie was on target, and Otimi Boa Emma Lugu this weekend. You're going to Jerry Frie go now, and also a share over the weekend. And also Otimi Boa Lugu power just to make sure say Omobe avoid relegation. It was Spanish 30 now. During the AFCON and the 20 championship, no, back Echo Bomber last time around, Emma was score assist. This time around, he came back and he was able to make his name on the Onyanidin or the score sheet tonight. Me, Eboamo. Of course, Uko Belgium, I said, you about the championship games. I bet me, who wins the league? Who's a Belgium? Mubo, we are Mufa be top 4. No, Mabo, Omubo Mua, the Obe winning, no. No be top no be yet the champion of the nation in Belgium.
Okay.
So interestingly, USG a ball against Royal Antwerp and Mohammed Fousseni scored 2 goals in that game now Basso between Royal Antwerp and USG. We the first goal of Mohammed Fousseni. Royal Antwerp ehonumna Dennis Odoy airball.
Okay.
And this was the goal Mohammed Fousseni share. Apart from that, he scored the other goal with his left foot. So and also Boa Etimima USG enya that victory over Royal Antwerp ekoso ewo Belgium honum. almost say about relegation playoff. Ehonom so na Lawrence Ajikum so nya ne din on the score sheet. Ni club Cercle Brugge ebo against Patro Eisden. Cercle Brugge Sergio omo no the lowest ranked team a omo ni the third team a so every Belgium division 1 eba no nti ya na akwa relegation playoff. So first leg no ene baso and Lawrence Ajikum was on the score sheet in that 5-1 winner omonya. So Lawrence Ajikum go no ene twe egu ona Lawrence Ajikum so and the nyanity ekora said this weekend yana or signing a 4-year deal because now or a Red Bull Salzburg player and omode na loan to Cercle Brugge. So ni mode mona so any so Cercle Brugge for na hun say otwa omo club no na seju eno so bebo apa. So Ajikum Lawrence was on target. Richmond Boachiadom in the Bosnia League was also on target for the club. Doboj Sloga in that 4-1 win they had against Sloboda, and Richmond Boachiadom was part of those scorers in that 4-1 win, and I think it's very good. Richmond Boachiadom said, "You know, a place are not you Black Stars, you be on power," and all of a sudden were falling off in that order. Obekai in Cameroon, AFCON any Comoros, no, he was one of the guys who scored the goal in that game. No, Richmond Boachiadom or Coninam Resta Belgrade. Later on, called Libya, and as I say, was called to Bosnia. Osia Kain Ewa Honum, and Richmond Boachiadom game Tremunti. He was also part of those players who scored the goal, and of course, Oko Austrian so Red Bull Salzburg against BW Linz. Edmond Beidou was one of the guys and also a share goal over the weekend, and that was the game. Red Bull Salzburg and we need the game. No, they went down by a goal to nil. They had the equalizer, and Lawrence Beidou go no, and the team bomb and Mama winning by 2-1 over the weekend. Say you.
All right. Awal ya nafi ekakra na ya Ghana Premier League matches no, and so